While teaching at Tulane University and building several businesses, I was often told by men, "You think like a man." Now, I didn't know exactly how to take that, but realized through time that it was a compliment. That led me to conduct research and write several articles about gender differences in communication. Men and women do listen and communicate differently. So what does this mean for us? While there are exceptions to every rule, there are differences that are well documented. I want us to look at some of these differences so that we can help understand the challenges that we face when communicating with each other. In conversation, it's important to remember that men and women often communicate with different goals in mind. Men often talk to create and maintain power and status in the relationship. Women often talk to build and nurture relationships and connections. And if our goals are different, we interpret what that means for each other, and we can have negative reactions or feelings about each of the other. So what we want to look at are some of the differences and interpretations to help us better understand cross-cultural and gender communication. Let's look at women first. Women often ask more questions than men. They often use more direct eye contact, and it's a way to build a relationship, and they communicate in ways that are cooperative and want you to get engaged with them. So you'll see them nod their heads, they'll smile more frequently, and they will be indirect in their conversations about disagreements. In addition, you'll hear things verbally from women that are a little bit different too. They soften their language. They may say something like, "I may be wrong, but," or "That's a good idea, but don't you think?" "I'm not sure how I feel, but," and these qualifiers can lead men to think more negatively about women. In fact, the ways women communicate may cause men to think certain kinds of things that we wouldn't like as women. For example, men may think that women lack initiative or leadership potential because they qualify what they're talking about. They may think that we as women are overly concerned with being liked or accepted. They also may think that we avoid confrontation or having a voice, speaking up. They also could think that we're too sensitive about criticism or slights and offer too much detail and ask too many questions that would give the impression that we really don't know what we're doing. Now, that may not be the case, of course, but it's these differences that may make us look at that differently. Let's look at men for a minute. Men in conversations often offer solutions before showing empathy, so they jump right into the issue. They use less eye contact, and so a woman may be wanting that eye contact and not get it. They communicate more competitively and will appear to be more argumentative. They listen to the content rather than picking up verbal messages and may not show responsiveness to what they hear. In addition, we often see men displaying more impatience with too much detail. Women may think men offer solutions before asking questions or gaining understanding. They also may think that by seeing no facial expression that they provide little or no feedback. They could think that men are bored, uninterested, or even dense. They might find that they need more detail because of the lack of feedback, and they might ask more questions or ask for that, or even repeat themselves when men are unresponsive. So what does this mean for us? Let's give some advice for both men and women. For women, understand that men communicate to share information, not to establish relationships. Understand, and don't get frustrated when a man is not as interested in being chatty as you may be. Men talk about things in fewer words. Also, women, we need to think about interruptions and disagreements as some men's way of asking questions. And let's give some advice for men. Men, you might want to be an angel advocate initially to affirm what is valuable or what you like about a woman's message or idea, and then let them know you want to play devil's advocate to bulletproof the idea later. That will help them be more responsive. You will definitely want to move beyond two-word answers, especially on the phone, to show your interest and concern. And then finally, listen first and be certain she asks for your help before you jump in with all of the ideas and answers to problems that she may not even have. Remember, through using the suggestions and advice that we've talked about here today, we can better understand some of the differences and help build better cross-gender relationships.